So that's mobile payments and then retail banks. If you go to commercial banking, well, with commercial banks, you've got treasury services for companies, and you've got credit lines. So corporations, like an individual in a way, I've got a bunch of cash. I want to generate yield on it. Call that treasury services. Or I have a lot of assets. I want to generate yield on them. And I also want to borrow against my assets.
Hi, I'm Crypto Positive. If you like this video, please leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. It's very important to the channel and gives me motivation to make more videos about crypto for you. And now let's go to the video.
And so I need a commercial grade bank to do that. I tend to have slightly different requirements, and I'm going to move in greater scale, and I may have different accounting issues, but the commercial banking application and the retail banking are pretty similar. Exchanges are another application of Bitcoin, and there people want to trade assets against each other and trade derivatives against each other. And you can imagine infinite assets and infinite derivatives. They will be compliance heavy, right? You need to comply with the CFTC or the SEC or who knows what, and that gets very complicated. But it's a big business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the next big area of applications would be corporations. And here, any company that simply buys Bitcoin becomes an application of Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. And this is not a technical application. If we take MicroStrategy as an example, when MicroStrategy buys Bitcoin, then MicroStrategy stock becomes a derivative of Bitcoin. And now MicroStrategy stock is trading on a NASDAQ, a regulated exchange. So what you did is you took one asset sitting on the blockchain and you used it to back another asset, an equity that's trading on the NASDAQ. And then you back a third asset, calls and puts and leaps that are trading on a futures exchange like the CME or something. And you may have even issued debt that trades privately over the counter through a set of broker dealers. Each of those are applications of Bitcoin. Well, how big are they? They could be $1 billion. They could be 10 billion. You could have $100 billion worth of these applications.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they exist? Because people want them. Right? Mm-hmm. Because there are a lot of people that want to trade stocks on NASDAQ. They don't want to trade Bitcoin on Coinbase. Why don't they want to? Because they took a decade to raise $100 billion and they promised a bunch of pension funds that they would only trade equities on NASDAQ. And now it would take them another 5 years to reset expectations with the pension funds.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they want that because there are companies that do convertible arbitrage. They have $10 billion. They raised it from pension funds and endowments, and they do convertible arbitrage. That's their strategy. And that means they have to be able to buy the convertible debt and short the stock and try to generate a yield. And they've got billions of dollars to do that thing. So they get up, that's what they want to buy. There's a phrase on Wall Street, when the ducks are quacking, feed the ducks. If the ducks want to buy convertible debt, give them convertible debt. If they want to buy equity, give them equity. If they wanted to buy Bitcoin, then they would buy the Bitcoin.
Right.
But these applications meet different needs.
Before we get back to the video, I want to tell you that you can get a free $100 bonus from iTrust Capital by clicking the link in the description right now. Now let's get back to the video.
If you're a consumer, you want to download Square Cash app and you want to smash buy $37 worth of Bitcoin and you want to do it in 2 clicks. You don't really want, a super complicated trading console with like 16 Bloomberg screens, with futures and options and 3,700 trading pairs. That's not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You want to smash buy $37. So sometimes simplicity is the right thing. Sometimes you want simpler than that. Sometimes, you've been doing business with the same private wealth or client advisor. You want to call them on the phone, and you want to say, buy $10,000 worth of that Bitcoin. and you want them to kind of buy a Bitcoin ETF. And the pure Bitcoin maximalist will say, you're crazy. You should store 10,000 in your own hardware wallet. Okay, well, I'm 82 years old and I'm in a wheelchair and my hands shake and I don't use computers. How am I supposed to store this in a hardware wallet? Like, I'm just buying it, as an investment instead of buying gold.
Yeah.
And I've got 5 seconds. Okay. So you have 5 seconds and you talk to a guy, Bill, that you've been doing business with from Merrill Lynch. Merrill Lynch, was a company of its own before it was bought by Bank of America. So I talked to my guy, Bill, I've been talking to him for 30 years. I have 5 seconds and I want to buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. Okay. Does that application matter? Sure, it does. What if I want to buy $10 million worth of Bitcoin? Does that matter? Sure, it does. What if I want to buy 100 million worth of Bitcoin? It's the same dude with the same 5 seconds. Okay, so do applications scale the Bitcoin network? Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Would it be helpful to have more? They're all handles. They're a handle. I'm grabbing on to Bitcoin. People handle it different ways. If I have PayPal, it's installed on my machine and it works and I can click on a button in 1 second and buy Bitcoin. I prefer that to downloading a better application that takes 37 clicks and takes 2 days to get authenticated.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, these applications make a big difference. And what you have going on here is the creation of financial applications being wound into other exchanges and other platforms. And the platforms are everything, right? They take, like, for example, a corporation on the New York Stock Exchange takes you to the New York Stock Exchange platform. A corporation on the NASDAQ takes you to the NASDAQ platform. A corporation in Japan, takes you to the Nikkei, trading platforms. So as Bitcoin spreads on the balance sheets of different companies and different governments, it spreads onto different platforms and it morphs into different derivatives and different flavors. I would agree. I mean, it's the base. It's the base property protocol or the base monetary protocol. If what you want to do is to build something on a stable monetary base or a stable value base, then you need digital money, digital property. And that's a little bit different than digital currency, right? If you want a good digital currency, you're best to base it on a good digital money.
Right. Currency is an application of money. I think it's a great way to look at it.
Currency is an application of money.
Yes.
And if you understand it that way, like, money is the base layer, the end all be all source of all value and virtue. And everything else is an application on top of it.
Пустой зал, ожидание вокзала. Стою и смотрю куда-то в сторону перрона.